Welcome to the Loose and Moose podcast.
I'm Luce.
And I'm Moose.
Two unlikely best friends that I guess love the sound of their own voice, so decided to hit record.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Fuck it, let's get funny.
That's only funny when I'm saying it, surely.
Nah. You're the one that wanted to say it every episode.
Okay, fuck it, let's get funny.
Thing of the week?
Thing of the week. I got an amazing thing of the week.
Mm-hmm.
That amazing that I was screenshotting a message we got from a mutual friend to send it to you, and it was that funny that I didn't even realise that you were in the group chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
New
here I am.
iPhone user. Used to, do Pixels not do that?
I don't know, not microwaved pixels anyway. But yeah, I'm here screenshotting it, about to send it to you, losing my shit, and then, yeah, anyway, you're already sitting in there. So
Yeah. I think just read the text because it was so funny.
So good. All right. So anyway, this is the text. So I was listening to this alone while getting ready and then paused it to start getting the kids in the car. Bluetooth is then connected automatically to the part where Lucy is saying fuck yes or fuck no like 7 times in a row. I then made some kind of speed record running to the driver's door to make it stop.
I'm so sorry.
It's ridiculous. I can just envision her being on this side of the car. She's been in the car before, so the music's absolutely cranked. Phone's in connected. It's saying fuck everything. And then just that moment of looking in the kid's eyes of like, what is on the radio, Mum?
And like, did she say 6? Yeah, it was about 7 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like, that's putting it lightly. It was a lot of fucks.
Yeah. And then you just like see her like going around like this. For some reason, I'm like, oh, it'd be amazing at like a petrol station where there's fucking people everywhere that also would be hearing that. That'd be great promotion for us. So next time that happens, make sure you're in a public place, please. But I just love that. I thought that was hilarious. We were so lucky with so many people reaching out to us. But I think we both agreed that was definitely one of the funniest.
100%. Because I can relate to it because I've definitely sworn in front of your kids before and then you've looked at me like, did you really just say that? I'm like, oh no.
Yes.
And then I've definitely done it on speakerphone and in the car and you've said, oh, that's perfect thing to say when my kids are in the car, Lucy.
So that's really good for us because we do it as well. But when someone else does it, it makes us like get that parent moment of like, yeah, why would you do that?
How dare you swear in front of our kids? They've never heard the F word in their life.
But now I've got an excuse that's not me. So thank you so much.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to our friend though because I'm sure her kids are innocent and never heard swearing. I don't know. Maybe.
So anyway, that was mine. Loved it. Well, what about you?
That's a good thing of the week.
Yeah.
I've got a thing of the week, but that just reminds me though, as a cringe of the week, I want to share first, which is kind of related.
Yeah, cool.
I've realized, so a few episodes are out now when we're recording this, and we're starting to realize some things that maybe we could improve on. We're like coaching ourselves on how to do a podcast. And one thing I've noticed is that we're filming, obviously. We've got 3 cameras set up and we keep doing things visually and then not explaining it to the listeners. And then I put a poll up on our Instagram stories and the votes were like most people are listening and not watching. And I'm like, we're fucking it up. What are we doing?
So you're telling me that like I'm spending 2 to 3 hours per day every single day and no motherfucker's watching it?
Apparently.
Because editing the audio version is awesome. Put it through, press play and we're on.
That would be so easy. And then you're putting literally all your time into the video. Please watch the videos so we know. Even if you're just putting it on the background and not paying attention just to make Moose feel better, that would be great.
Please.
And also for the audio listeners, we promise we'll try and be better now. And if we're doing something visually, just explain what we're doing so you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm glad you put that back onto the radar for us.
Also, shout out to one of our loyal listeners who said that when they go to the gym, they give us 2 listens in 1.
Fucking
so
next level.
I was like, what do you mean? And apparently you got to watch the video on the treadmill, but that doesn't sync up with the audio. So then he's listening to the audio through Spotify and then timing them perfectly to sync up. And he's giving us 2 listens in 1.
Fuck. Is that going to be like the first prize we give up? I'm getting some more of those mugs.
The Slay of the Week goes to, I don't know if we want to say names. Do we say names? Yeah, he'll love it.
All right.
The Slay of the Week goes to Brayden. Thank you so much.
Weapon.
Yeah. Anyway, my thing of the week, is dreams. I wanted to know whether you dream, what kind of, I feel like I want to do a whole episode on sleep. I feel like sleeping habits and patterns are really interesting to me. But for now, I just want to talk about dreaming because I just think I do a thing that's a bit weird with sleep. I mean,
it's like not do it.
Yeah, that too. But I think that's the reason why I do this thing though, is like as an adult, I have night terrors.
Yeah.
So like I've seen a psychologist about it and stuff. Like it's an actual thing, but like it's more common in kids that are having night terrors and like running around the house not knowing what's going on. And I don't know why I get it. Apparently adults can get it.
Yeah.
And it's like probably every couple of months I'll have one where I'm like running around my house thinking like someone's trying to kill me. It's quite often snakes. Like I dream that snakes are in my bed, or like I quite often dream the ceiling's caving in on me. There's always things happening. And then what happens is I'm awake and I'm still thinking something's happening, but then something clicks where I realize, okay, no, I was asleep. It's all right. Man. But by that point, my heart is like beating out of my chest and it takes like a good half an hour to actually settle back down to sleep because I'm in that fight or flight response.
Yep.
And it happened to me the other night and that's why I wanted to talk about it. Somebody in the neighborhood set off fireworks. And it sounded like they were right outside my bedroom window. It was so loud. So I've got woken up by the flashes of light through my curtains. And then it was so loud. I thought it was gunshots. And then I was like, I grabbed my phone and ran to the lounge and I was like shaking. And, but then I had that thing where I'm like waking myself up, realizing, no, it was just a dream. But I was like, was it though? I was having such a moment. It was 1 a.m. on Saturday night. And I literally was like too scared to go back into my bedroom thinking, is someone trying to break in? And that was like a bomb or something with the flashes of light.
So you actually came out to your lounge room?
Oh, that's like I said, every couple of months this is a thing I do. I'll find myself awake in the bathroom or the lounge or somewhere in the house. Huh?
Standing up?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's the thing. That's what makes you realize you're dreaming is because you're walking around and then you still think you're under attack, but then something in your brain like slowly wakes up and realizes, oh, I was dreaming.
Have you ever had like, that sounds so dangerous. Like, have you fell over or anything like that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. The worst one was I smashed my MacBook doing it. This night terror was that I was strapped to a train track and a train was coming to get me, and in real life I dove out of my bed and then I knocked my bedside table over and my MacBook was there and smashed it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Imagine explaining that to the insurance claim.
I know.
The reason night terrors.
Yeah, legit. And that was the one that made me talk to a psychologist about it because I was like, this isn't normal, and she's like, yeah, it is. It's okay. It's no big deal.
It's just cost me, $2,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
One that reminds me of similar to that is back when we lived down near the beach, we had, I can't remember if it was a New Year's or something, so we've had a big night and I've got a spider tattoo on my arm, and I remember being like still kind of drunk and waking up in a daze, and I fucking hate spiders, and I've just like moved my arm and we had like brick walls in our bedroom, so how good, and just like fucked my elbow, like thinking that like a spider was there.
So much to unpack here. So is it because you were hungover that you thought it was a real spider, or what? Or you half asleep?
It must have been, or at least I've woke up in like a bit of a daze, and like it must have just like caught my eye. Maybe it was like, I can't remember, it might have been like freshly like tattooed, so you know what I mean, like it's not like I've had that tattoo forever sort of thing. Okay. But then I just remember waking up, and then Lauren was freaking out because like I would have been like not really screaming but like genuinely hurt.
Yeah.
And then I remember just having like a massive thing on my elbow and explaining that. People were like, what?
Yeah. It sounds so ridiculous. Like, how'd you hurt yourself? Oh, I was dreaming.
Yeah. Just the spider that's on my arm.
So the other thing I need to unpack, what do you mean you hate spiders but you got a spider tattoo?
Yeah. So 2 reasons. So definitely hate them. And one of the ideas was like, maybe I'll get a spider tattoo and it will like try and, make that fear go away.
Just built different.
Just built different.
Got to get a spider on me even though I'm scared of them.
And the other thing is I'm like, it'll go quite nicely with the web with Jack. So it was kind of like a twofold, right? Plus, back then I wouldn't have been working properly. So I'm like, I want another tattoo, but I can't spend any money. So it's nice and small. But yeah.
In another episode, I think we've got to do a tattoo tour.
That's a cool idea.
Explain like what they mean and why you got them and stuff.
Do you know what the downside of that will be though as well?
that some of mine don't really have meaning. I just thought they looked cool. Or
No, we'll both have that.
yeah,
I just mean like we'll then get the. I don't know if you're the same, but like with tattoos, it's like I won't get one for years, and then I'll get one, and I'm like like you're just addicted again.
Yeah.
Where if we do that, we'll be like, especially with editing it, and that I'm like, oh fuck, what about all those gaps? I'm like, I want more.
I've been thinking that lately. I want to get more because I'm very gappy, like the little sticker tats everywhere.
The only other good thing is we have quite a few friends that are tattooists now.
We do.
And I'm sure that they're going to be watching this. So, hey, if any of our friends want to hook us up.
I've got a lot of blank space. You can help me out.
So
maybe they could feature in the tattoo tour.
Yeah. This will be good to use in episode 100 when we get that live tattoo.
Yeah, I already have the smiley face on my arm, kind of, but we've still got to get a smiley for the moose and loose.
Did we decide if we're going to do
the moose and loose?
Did you?
I did.
That's so good. That's what everyone says anyway. It should be.
We workshopped it for ages, whether it was moose and loose or loose and moose. I can't believe I just stuffed it up.
Rolls off the tongue.
No, it doesn't. Loose
I can already envision me editing the logo to change right now. Did we decide like with that, like, am I tattooing you and you're tattooing me, or we're actually going to have like professionals?
The issue is I would just like it spelt correctly.
How do you spell a face wrong? I'll find a way.
Yeah, you will. And you'll be like, oh, it's just because I text heaps. That's why the smileys
I'm just
are
old now.
weird.
Like, who gives a fuck
I'm just
about
so used to
spelling
texting
things
now.
right? I'm getting better for everyone.
Yeah, you are. I'm proud of you.
Anyway, that was good. What have we got? I think I've got a cringe of the week.
You've got a cringe of the week?
Yeah.
What? I didn't think
and this is following on from the theme. Like, we've also, this isn't even our cringe of the week.
Oh, so you don't have one?
And well, I'm going to deliver it.
Yeah,
and it was
doesn't
delivered
count.
to me, and now I'm going to deliver it to everybody.
Like, I'm grateful to receive a cringe of the week from someone else, but like, it's just, again, you just showing off that you're just better than all of us. And
well, you started this, and everyone, you're inspiring people for the cringe, so you should actually take the cringe from
embrace the cringe.
I thought this was super funny though. So I had someone reach out, a friend of mine, and we were just talking about the pod, and we just started doing this. We had 3 or 4 people there, and we started doing some of the segments, which was also super humbling and cute, by the way.
Yeah.
And I just said, I'm like, can I please take this? Because it's just one of those ones where you love it because you'd be like, okay, cool. Other people do exactly what you do. Because I remember you saying a line like, why the fuck did I do that? I could have just stopped here and it would be fine, but I kept going.
That's what makes it a cringe, is when you just like question every part of your being, like, why am I like this?
And like, I've never done this before. Why did I just decide to do this now in the most awkward situation?
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
So anyway, a friend of mine unfortunately got into a car crash.
Oh.
Both fine, completely fine.
Okay.
So we'll get that out of the way straight away. So she has rear-ended a gentleman. They were both okay. Obviously, then they've got out of their car and pulled over and, met each other, grabbing all the details. They've then obviously pulled out their phone to swap details, grab all the sort of things. And she's realised that guy has the same phone case as her. Pretty standard, right? She's then, and he's there writing on the phone. She's then went over and hit it and been like, twinsies.
Oh, no.
She never says twinsies, by the way. So, then the phone has then just fell out of this guy's hand after crashing into his car and went onto the ground. She's sitting there like your face now, like, I've run into this dude's car. I've now potentially smashed this dude's iPhone. And I'm like... And imagine if you were him being like, why the fuck you just went... It's like me hitting twinsies now on your beer and just knocking it on the ground for fun. And then she's like, they picked it up and she's just felt like, she's just died inside. And she's just like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm just going to like go over here now. And apparently his response was like, if you could imagine like, yes. And then like an exclamation mark with giving a like, can you please just get the fuck away from me? But then obviously they would have had to interact because the car's still doing things. So, but yeah, she was just like, it's so embarrassed, hitting like all those moments of like, I've never said that word before. How the fuck could it get any worse from crashing to then like potentially smashing the phone? Just like, I just want to go home and get out of the situation. Does that qualify enough for a cringe of the week?
It makes me feel instantly bad for even making this a segment. I feel so uncomfortable right now.
This is going to be like, we're going to have a segment after these all the time, especially if people keep giving them to us, where we can then like cleanse.
I need an emotional shower after that. Oh my
like
God.
We've got the beer ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much I loved like having both of these coming in from listeners. I thought that was really, really cool.
It's really cool. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. The only thing that could have made it worse is if you just like punched him in the face after that. Like, jeez. Oh.
Yeah. So.
Is this how uncomfortable people feel when I tell my stories as well? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It was one of those, like, everyone in that circle were just like, oh man, that's so fucked. And here's me like getting the notepad out being like, oh my God, this is data.
You're like, save it for the pod, bitch.
Yeah, stop laughing now, guys. You're going to be listening to this in 4 weeks. Anyway, so that was pretty cool. So
thank you
for
sharing. Wow. Wow. I'm just going to need a second. Hang on.
That's fine.
Anyway, speaking of emotional showers, I want to talk about something. I don't really need an emotional shower because I'm okay now, but I feel like it's an interesting thing to talk about.
You just want to like wash your hands instead of the whole body?
Yeah, it's just like a little hand sanitizer.
Yeah, okay,
emotional hand sanitizer. I had a job interview last week for a promotion and I didn't get the job. And that's okay. I had a little bit of a like reflection and I didn't really think I was going to get the job. I was just kind of putting myself out there to get experience. But, you know, you always get your hopes up. You just think, oh, what if? And then it wasn't so much about being rejected that I even got upset about. But then for me and how my brain works, which you know this by now, it can't just be a rejection in my head. It has to turn into like thinking about everything else in my life that I suck at and I'm not good enough and comparing myself to you and how amazing you are and like how, you know, Moose never got rejected and, you know, just my brain just keeps going. So I just wanted to chat about that. Like, I don't know. I guess it is a bit of an emotional shower. We've got our beers. Come on.
Boom. All right.
Emotional shower beers. I've got better beer. What have you got?
I got the Carlton Dry Tropical Passion Fruit.
Yeah. We didn't do the cool cracking open thing because I don't think I expected this to be an emotional shower. I'm sorry.
And probably also the cool cracking thing last time wasn't that cool and took like, you know, 15 hours to get you to do that.
Did it even work out cool in the end?
I can't remember. I think I just deleted the whole thing.
You can't open cans with acrylic nails. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted your thoughts on rejection in general because I feel like it doesn't even have to be with jobs, just anything. You would just handle it better than I would. Actually, have you even ever been rejected before? Can you even relate to this? I'm thinking, what could you have been rejected from?
Yeah, I don't know. I've just, you know, got a family of kids that literally just say no to absolutely everything. Then I've ruined their lives, you know. That doesn't happen, you know, 20 times a day.
Yeah, but then they love you like 2 seconds later, so whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, that's only because they want something. I do have a funny story for work related. So I tried twice to get a job in an entry level position in our business and was knocked back both times.
Really?
Yep.
That's embarrassing. I got the job straight away. Wow.
Fuck, okay. Maybe I'll have a couple more of these ones to wash it off.
So you're telling me I'm upset I didn't get a promotion within the company we're in when you couldn't even get a job in the company we're in.
You put it like that, then you're making me feel amazing. Yeah, fuck you. I'm glad you didn't get the job. No, I'm just kidding. No, I guess like it's just so hard. Like it's easier once you've got perspective. And I think like us talking now, you do like these things like for where you're at right now, going for that job is the success. Like I know that sounds cheesy and you hate it, but like that's amazing. Like you're impressing a lot of people and being in that position to get it in such a high level position is amazing. And now your challenge is to use that as data and fuel to be like continuing going. Like it's not going to stop anything. If anything, it's like, well, fuck yeah. All right, I've already done the interview for what I want. Now I can take a couple of things I need to change and some more experience and bring it on. You hate that, don't you?
Yeah, I knew you'd have some positive spin on it. But then, what's your perspective on my brain straight away going to, yeah, well, makes sense that I didn't get the job because I'm failing at everything in my life. When it's clearly not true. Why does my brain do that? You're like, I can't relate. Never been like that in my life. I don't know. I just know I'm perfect all the time.
Do we go back to the meaning of the emotional shower? Like, have you challenged yourself to be like, all right, cool, here's, you know, a few of those fucked up scenarios that are very easy to think of, and then where's the positives? And then it's up to you which way you want to read that story.
That's so true. I didn't force myself to acknowledge the positives at all.
And I guarantee, like, with how big you are of a personality, like, everyone around you probably also jumped into the negative train because they would have thought that that's what you to do. So you would have been at work, guaranteed, right? At work, and everyone's like, oh, you know, that sucks and you should have got it and blah, 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 because, you know, you're influencing everyone else to have that around you. You fucking hate everything about asking me this question, don't you?
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, did you hate me so much when you were trying to, like, console me after? Because I hated myself, but I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
You're being, like, so nice and telling me all this good shit, and I'm just like, yeah, but everything's fucked. Like, it was so bad, and I could feel myself doing it.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know how. That's something I've got to work on, I guess. Like, I didn't know we were starting therapy sessions on the pod. Jeez.
I didn't know I was going to have to charge extra. But no, I think it's something good to talk about because everyone has, you know, things that they're excited to do. And again, if you don't do it, you know, yes, you get the safe option, but you've just got to do it. And every single person has rejection, but it's like, hey, that does not put you off of just doing things. Just fucking do it.
That's so true. And if I was telling someone else in my position, if I was giving them advice, I'd be able to see the positives. So I don't know why I can't see it for myself.
100%.
And I don't need to go so fucking dark every time something happens. Like, it's not a reflection on me.
Well, you can watch this episode and see, now you're seeing yourself saying it. That might be a pretty cool thing as well.
Yeah, true.
So,
if
cool.
anyone needs advice with dealing with rejection, hit me up. I'm available. Also, we do interviews a lot. We are the interviewers. So I thought it might be cool to share some interview tips or tips for even preparing for one, or I don't know. I just thought it's something that everybody goes through. Well, I hope everyone's going through it. Like, if you've been in the same job forever and you're not challenging yourself to do things, then I challenge you to try that. Like, you should be interviewing and putting yourself out there, unless you love your job and you don't, and you're just so happy in it. But I don't know. I just feel like there's always something you can do. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have any interview tips for us?
I think like confidence is the easiest thing to say, but you've got to be like, for me, like the start of the interview or a conversation, right? It's always going to be awkward when you go into a room and you're looking at people that are going to be sitting there and grading you, right? Yeah. Like, I don't care who you are, that scares the shit out of you.
Even if if you know the person well, or you don't know them at all, it's the same level of awkward.
Yep. So for me, it's like, you know, it's those one-liners. It's like something to make the room feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, you're probably going to know something about the people that are doing it. Like, research one or two things that they're into and make a joke about it, you know, or talk about it, or do what we do. Comment them on something that they're wearing or something like that, just so you can got like that little icebreaker instantly before you start the interview. Because then you're sitting down and you're smiling. This needs to be happening before you sit.
And so it makes them at ease, and they instantly like you more, but it makes yourself feel more comfortable, right?
Sit down, have a deep breath after that, and then, I guess my thing is, I got two, and one I've stole off you actually. But I've always said it, you got to 8 Mile that shit. For me, what I mean by that is, you know, you go to the 8 Mile movie and it's like the rap at the end, it's like, you know, throw every single thing out there that you know will come up. You know what I mean? So if you're interviewing with something, you need to know everything that will potentially, you know, catch you off guard, or you know what's coming up, so you're prepped for that stuff. And know your flaws or something, and have really good answers to get around those questions. And the one I stole from you is also ask heaps of questions. Like, interviewers ask all the questions, but you want it to be two-way dialogue, and you know there's going to be like, is there anything else today? Or, you know, those sort of things. Like, you're always really good, like well prepped, and the one you just did was phenomenal, where you've got like really thought out questions that will be different than everyone else there. Nothing worse than like, you'd be like, is there anything else you want to talk about? And they're like, no.
Yeah, if I'm interviewing someone and their response is like something about the job specifics, I'm like, that's boring. Like, if you say, so when do you think we'll know the answer? Or, you know, what does this part of the job mean? I don't know. You're missing an opportunity there. Your question at the end is your one last chance to sell yourself. So I specifically will come up with questions that help sell me. I think I'm pretty good at it.
Good. I love it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think like that's probably a couple that stand out for me. Yeah. What about you?
Just on that, I think I'm actually really good at job interviews. What are you like? I'm assuming you're the same.
Like doing them or being in one? Being
interviewed. Like I think I can interview really well. Like I'm never nervous about my performance in the interview. Like I think the one I just did, I wasn't really stoked with how I went, but like as a whole, if interviewing is a skill, I think I'm really good at it, and I assume you would be too.
I think it's one thing that got me better at it is conducting them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because now you sort of have that level of confidence because you know how it's going. But yeah, I guess for us, like the more experience we've had with doing them and conducting them, you just naturally get good at it. Because I think interviewing, like being the ones that are interviewing people, that's kind of daunting too. Like if you're not prepped and ready for that, and say all these tips we've given you, they can then take over the interview and it kind of like changes the dynamic.
That's so true.
So I think that's really helped me.
Another thing about being the interviewer, someone did this to me in an interview and then I always try and do it now is like when the person is talking. So they did it to me and I've just felt so good. Like just like nod and smile as you're talking.
Yeah.
And it was so wholesome. I just felt like, oh my God, they're so encouraging, not even saying anything, just literally eye contact and nodding and smiling. It made such a difference because even if the answer that I do it now for everyone, even if the answer they're giving is terrible, I want to still give them the best chance at like performing well, I guess, and making them feel comfortable. And it's a nice little touch.
Cute.
They're good ones. You kind of stole mine with the whole ending question thing.
You're welcome. And I guess we got to remember, like, it's a pretty major moment in people's lives. Like, this is changing potentially their life. You know what I mean? Like extra income, responsibility, like something that they've got their heart set on. Like it's a pretty magical moment. Yeah,
true. And I don't take it lightly. No matter what the job interview is, I'm always going in it thinking, like we have the ability to change this person's life. And then, I take it really seriously for sure.
Me too. What's some of your tips?
Mine's more about the prep because, like I said, I feel like I'm naturally just good in the actual interview. The more I prep, though, it's like the one time I'm like confident in myself. But no, it's around the prep. Like I think, like you said, you kind of said what I do anyway, but just making sure I'm really specific in the preparation, doing the relevant research and making things really relevant to the job description and not just what you think the job would want. Like if they've written a specific thing in there, like say they've written 6 things in the job description, mention them.
Yeah.
And make one of your stories flow back to that. Like have examples for everything. If they say, how do you do this thing? In your head, you should have like 10 stories or examples of things that you've done in the past, like ready to go, and you just pick whatever one works for that question because you've been so prepared. Like I remember one interview I did because I think I had more notice than the most recent one. I had written like a novel of answers for like every single question I could think of, and I'd like just stuck them all up around the house and was just like reading them any chance I could get.
I was trying to be nice then and not say something bad.
It's a bit unhinged, I know. But I don't know. It's like the deadline thing. I know it's happening in a few days. May as well just do everything I can until that deadline. And then another thing around prep is just mindset. Like everything you can do to calm yourself down. And then when you feel nervous, you can just your brain. I don't know the exact science behind it, but apparently your brain can't. The chemical that's released when you're nervous and when you're excited is exactly the same, but your brain interprets it differently because it understands what you're feeling. Mm-hmm. So if you are nervous, just tell yourself you're excited and your brain can kind of change the way it's feeling and you can just like force yourself to be excited.
Yeah.
So if you go into the interview like, I'm so nervous, you're just setting the tone to be awkward. But if you go in like, I'm so excited, then you're going to be positive and they're going to love you.
Yeah. Hence like the intro stuff we talked about. Yeah. Like if you can instantly do that, then your brain's already in that mindset.
Yeah.
I loved your point around like keeping it simple. And I think sometimes people, all the time, people overcomplicate it. And your point on just like, if they're asking for this, fucking nail that.
Exactly.
Like the amount of times you're like, oh, that's a bit like easy, right? I'm going to go on this crazy tangent. And they'll be like, well, you haven't even like, how hard if you haven't even answered the question? Doesn't matter how good this tangent is.
Yeah.
If you haven't answered that question, like most of the time it's a score-based thing. Mm-hmm. That's a 0.
Yeah.
Like, and if someone's just okay after you, they're already in front of you.
And I feel like the higher up you go in, I don't know about like the corporate world and stuff, but the higher up you go, the more specific things need to be to have like fair hiring.
Yeah.
So they can't just say, oh, but that was a cool story. I liked the vibe. Well, if it didn't explain the exact things they were asking for, then you're going to get a 0. And
that's a fuck no. Nice.
I love that. Anyway, that took, I didn't know we were like we were the new She's on the Money. Have you ever heard of She's on the Money podcast? No. They talk about like finance and things like this all the time. And I listen to them when I want to like be a badass bitch. I didn't know that was our new angle on everything.
When we close this episode, it's like, you know, how we normally end it. We're like, all right, cool. Let us know all the promotions in the comments that you guys are getting from us and you're welcome. What are we taking? Like 10% of their extra pay? Or?
Yeah, 10%.
Or at least a sub. Please hit us with a sub.
Yeah.
Tell one friend if you get a promotion.
Anyway, I didn't realize we were going to get so serious. So I do have a fun topic I want to talk about as well.
Nice.
Something I've been thinking about a lot is the jet ski story. So that was from a couple of episodes. I've had a lot of messages of that just dropped this week and about how wild it is. So go back and listen to it if you haven't already. The reason I want to talk about it is we call it the jet ski story, don't we? Mm-hmm. We call that thing a jet ski, don't we? Mm-hmm. Did you know that jet ski is the brand and not what the actual item is?
No.
I know. I was like, surely not.
It
like
can't be.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw it on TikTok or something.
But the brands are like Suzuki and Yamaha and things, right?
No. So so that just got me thinking, you know, like Kleenex, Band-Aid, all those kind of things that you call that thing, but it's actually the brand name.
Yeah.
Jet ski is 100% one of them.
Crazy.
And I find that so fascinating. Yeah. So I've got a list of them for us to have a look at now. I'm pretty sure you open that first link and the first one on there is jet ski. Tell me. Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
Yeah. So what does it read? What is it actually?
You might think you're riding around on a jet ski, but if it's not made by Kawasaki Heavy Industries, then it's just a personal watercraft.
Yeah.
Fuck, okay.
Yeah.
Bubble wrap?
Yeah. These, I haven't looked at these, but are you serious?
That's so good.
So what is bubble wrap actually called then if it's not bubble wrap? So we could be getting an off-brand bubble wrap and it's not actually bubble wrap.
Mm.
What? That's wild.
What else we got? Onesies, that's...
What, did you know that? I didn't know that. I thought it was always just a onesie. Think that...
But how do they get away with that? Like every single person in the entire universe makes onesies.
They must not call it a onesie on the label.
Yeah, true.
We just call it onesie. Yeah, and we just don't know.
Yeah.
Is this interesting to other people or is it just me? Do you find this stuff interesting?
I do.
This blows my mind.
They can't answer back, so I'm not sure how we can ask the question.
I guess we'll find out.
Watch us on YouTube because we're doing something crazy now.
Oh, yeah, so crazy. I'm doing a backflip. Did you know? On a jet ski, apparently.
All right, I'm just going to hit you with a bit of rapid fire.
Yeah.
Kleenex.
Knew that, yeah.
Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Google. Massive for us, but Tupperware. Like every piece of plastic ever is Tupperware.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty iconic that brands have achieved that level of status, I guess you would call it. And I wonder if other brands are out there and they're like in their boardrooms like planning that as a strategy to be like the next Band-Aid or whatever. Like is there any products now that would be that?
It would have to be, from recent times, the Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah, true. As if I didn't think of that.
The Kmart version, which now I know can fit a whole bottle of wine in it.
Yes, that's iconic. But yeah, legit. You call it a Stanley Cup and it's from Kmart.
So good.
Speaking of, Stanley, you noticed our content. Do you want to send us some? Or sponsor the pod? I don't know.
Give out some freebies to the listeners.
Yeah. Personalized? Oh my God. Come on. Moose, put your editing skills to use and here, this blank space on the wall, we're going to have a personalised Loose and Moose Stanley Cup.
Hell yeah. Moose and Loose or Loose and Moose? Yeah.
I said Loose and Moose, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm just fucking with you.
No, but for real, please. Moose is putting a lot of effort into the editing. And I think if you're listening to this right now, please just go put some kind of comment or something on the YouTube. Because
just watch a minute of it.
Tell us, I don't know, if you've ever had a night terror before. if you're just absolutely traumatized by that story.
Or if we missed any of these iconic names, that'd be cool too.
Or if our tips help land you a job, we'll take our cut whenever. That's cool.